Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over a new deck profile. No gameplay because it's not out on PTCG Live, but we will be going over Chien-Pao Baxcalibur with Iron Hands. One of the best new cards, if not the best card from Paradox Rift. Lots of really cool things that I want to kind of explore, but I'm going to explain it over the deck profile. The list is available in the description, so feel free to copy and paste that right into the Limitless Tabletop gameplay or into PTCG Live once the set comes out. Other than that, give this video a like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. That being said, let's jump into it. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG Live codes. You wanted a deck list? Here's a deck list. This list is also available for copy and paste in the description. Right now, Paradox Rift is not available on Pokemon TCG Live because this is an early deck profile. But if you want to play on Limitless Tabletop, or if you want to save this deck list for when the set comes out, this would be that would be a great way to copy and paste it. Now, Iron Hands EX is arguably the best card out of Paradox Rift. And it's because of its Amp You Very Much attack, kind of a heartfelt attack name, doing 120 damage for 4 energies, which sounds bizarre until we realize that this is a basic 230 HP, so we pass that 220 HP threshold. That's pretty easy for a lot of decks to knock out. And if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, take 1 more prize card. If we think about all of the situations and whatever of draw 1 more prize cards, we can look back at Stoutland V, which was part of the Lugia V-Star deck that terrorized our format for the better part of a year when we had powerful colorless energy. We had Arceus Dialga Palkia GX ADP, that was the best card out of Sword and Shield, that was 100% arguably the best card in our format for 2 years. Cards that draw extra prize cards are fantastic. Is it fantastic for the game? That's to be determined. If you're trying to win the game, it's usually better to draw prize cards. Because I don't want to go on a rant here or anything, but I mean, you're watching the video and I hope that you enjoy my content in some capacity. So let me go out there. We're gonna take a sip and hydrate for 1 second. Okay. Now that the thirst has been quenched, let me get y'all. Drawing prize cards is not only just drawing prize cards, it's robbing your opponent of turns. If we think about the game and think about games of Pokemon right now, how many turns do they last? This deck's not using Amp You Very Much turn 1, it's setting up turn 1. It's not even really attacking turn 1. I don't know of any attack that we'd want to be using turn 1. But if we're using Amp You Very Much, we're using it turn 2, and that could be drawing 2 prize cards turn 2 on a Comfey, another 2 prize cards turn 3 on a Radiant Greninja, another 2 prize cards turn 4 on Manaphy. So we have drawn effectively 6 prize cards in 3 turns of attacking, 4 turns of gameplay. If you think about it, drawing a prize per turn would probably be a good metric, and that doesn't even include a turn to set up. Winning the game in 4 turns sounds really, really, really good. And that's not even including if we knock out a Lumineon, which is weak to lightning, and then we draw 3 prize cards, because you draw an extra prize card regardless if it's knocked out. It doesn't have to be a basic. It doesn't have to whatever. So we have opportunities here to literally use Amp You Very Much. If we're not using Amp You Very Much, like let's say we're sitting across from an Arceus V, or a V-Star, or a Charizard EX, that's when we put on Chien-Pao, and we're going to destroy them with Chien-Pao, discarding a bunch of energies. So we have ways to wipe out basics, we have ways to wipe out big Pokemon with big HP that we can knock it out with Iron Hands. We have ways to draw cards that's around path with Bibarel. We have ways to accelerate our energies with Baxcalibur. We have ways to get around our opponent using Sableye or using Radiant Greninja to knock out our Frigibax, why we play the 60 HP and 70 HP one, why we play a Manaphy. Maybe Jirachi's good in this deck, to be determined. We have ways to search out boss's orders. We've cut the cross switchers from this build to go boss's orders and counter catcher. If we fall a little bit behind, we could still probably catch up with this deck. We have Canceling Cologne to knock out our opponent's Pokemon on their bench, even if they play Manaphy. So we have a lot of really cool ways here. And the thing that ties it all together is Earthen Vessel, the card at the bottom left. Being able to search for a couple energies and a couple, it could be lightning and water, it could be water and water. We have ways to kind of blow up our board state and really make things happen. So we take the success of the Chien-Pao deck that Kieran played to a top 32 at Worlds. Lucas Zing has then played it to top 8 at Pittsburgh. We have Grant Shen, who followed it up with a top 8 at Peoria and a top 16 at Sacramento. So we have the stability of a very, very, very advanced Chien-Pao build. We have the knowledge of how these decks are built. And, of course, we could apply our knowledge of previous decks on top of it. This sounds to me like it's the making of the best deck in format. And I don't necessarily want to throw that around too lightly, because it's a new format, things can change. This might be the best deck in formats, and I think that's something really to be determined when it comes down to it. And I mean, I'd argue otherwise. We don't have a way to really slow things down. You could be playing against a Charizard deck, which is already a favorable matchup, and just be like, okay, cool, amp you very much, whatever. We have ways to accelerate energies against all of these control decks. So as long as they don't play anything that stops us from playing Superior Energy Retrieval or Earthen Vessel, we're probably really good there. And if we think about other decks in the format that are seeing success, like Lost Tina, we could definitely draw some extra prize cards against Comfey. If we're playing against a Lugia deck, we are Lightning type, and we do draw extra prize cards. So amp you very much, Arm Press, these are all attacks that we can use, no problem at all. We have opportunities to be able to beat Miraidon decks just by attacking with Chien-Pao. That might be our toughest matchup. Miraidon might be our toughest matchup, but we still have opportunities to knock them out with Chien-Pao. If they knock out a Frigibax, and then we just knock out with Chien-Pao, get back Chien-Pao, we have all these super rods to get things back, we should be pretty good when you think about it. So in terms of like having a pretty even matchup spread against a lot of like random decks and having a really strong matchup spread against other decks, this deck seems to be doing quite well in my head, at least. So if you're heading over to the Latin American International Championships, the regionals in Gangst, Brisbane, Stuttgart, San Antonio, this is really a deck that I urge you to explore at the very least, and it gives you a taste of what these future Pokemon might end up having from Paradox Rift, and I think it's really cool. So if you need any of these cards, check out our sponsors at deckoutgaming.ca, at AtlasTCG.com, and PTCGLstore.com. We have all of our discounts in the description. They would hopefully have these cards and be able to ship them to you so that you're able to play, or download the codes digitally and unlock these cards on PTCG Live. Let me close things out. And that's what we got going on, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, learning more about Iron Hands, Chien-Pao, Baxcalibur, and of course of Paradox Rift. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, and let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. That being said, I will catch up with all y'all soon, and have yourself a great one. Peace out. Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.